We've got another bushel and a peck of diabolical and devious horror comics hitting the shelves this week. Let's get right into it. Here's this week's horror poll. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. Before we get started, I wanted to alert my listeners that I'll be writing and drawing a new short story for Nightmare Theater 2. I thank those who picked up the first collection, and I believe there are still some copies left if you're interested in picking that one up. I did a story in that one with superstar artist Carlos Granda. This new anthology delves into the darkest corners of the mind and beyond. If you have some extra cash, be sure to support the Nightmare Theater 2 Kickstarter and pick yourself up a copy. Look for a link to the Nightmare Theater's Kickstarter down below before the comments. It's November 10th, 2021. That happens to be my brother's birthday, so happy birthday, Dan. It's also time for another big batch of comics to be unloaded onto the populace, and I'm here to show you what's new in horror comics this week. Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Death, number 2, is from Ahoy Comics. A rogue crew of creative forces gather together to highlight the often comical, often bizarre, often disturbing, and often drunk reinterpretations of classic tales by the late, great Edgar Allan Poe. This series always has great writers and artists behind it, and always manages to surprise me with the creative ways they reinvigorate Poe's work in modern ways. This is always a great anthology, and I'm glad it's still chugging along with this second volume. Nyx number 1 is from Dynamite Entertainment. The story is by Christos Gage, with art by Marc Borstel. The daughter of a chaos god and a mortal woman struggles to maintain her humanity despite the fact that she can burst into living demonic flame at any moment and needs to feed on life forces for food. This is a Vampirella spin-off title, so be prepared for covers featuring
ass, titties, ass and titties, ass, titties, titties, ass and titties.
My Date with Monsters number 1 is from AfterShock Comics. The story is by Paul Tobin, with art by Andy MacDonald. This one's got a whole lot to unpack according to the description. It appears that a hole in the realm where nightmares live is ruptured, and now monsters from your worst dreams walk the earth alongside humans. This series focuses on a specific nightmare monster named Risha, who has a teenage daughter and a hulking friend named Croak, yet still is yearning for love. This sounds like an awful lot to digest, but I do like Paul Tobin's writing, so maybe it'll be much clearer acted out on the page. Dynamite Lives, number 5, is from Dynamite Entertainment. The story is by Fred Van Lente, with art by Vincenzo Carratu. This issue has Vampirella, Evil Sonia, Ash from Army of Darkness, Pantha, Project Superpowers, Peter Cannon Thunderbolt, Jennifer Blood, Smiley, and Frankenstein all slashing, biting, clawing, and destroying one another in one gory melee. Who can resist that kind of star-filled carnage? And check out that gnarly cover.
Ass, titties, ass and titties.
Out, number 2, is from AWA Comics. The story is by Rob Williams, with the art by Will Conrad. The first issue of this book rocked. At its core, it's basically Hogan's Heroes with vampires and without the laugh track. It follows a Comanche language expert who is attempting to survive among his fellow allied POWs who are pretty damn racist to him, the Germans who are pretty damn mean to them, and the vampires who want to eat him. The art is moody and dark, as is the tone. I'm sticking with this series until the end. It's a good one. Vampirella number 25 is from Dynamite Entertainment. The story is by Christopher Priest, with art by Ergun Gunduz. This last issue of the series celebrates the 50th anniversary of Vampirella and ends Christopher Priest's run on the title, or does it? This one also features the wedding of Vampirella, or does it? Who is she marrying? Some guy she met online? No, it's the man who will soon become Dracula. Look for the real red wedding in this issue. Plus, rest assured the covers will feature
ass, titties, titties, ass and titties.
We Have Demons #2 is from Comixology. The story is by Scott Snyder, with art by Greg Capullo. I missed the first issue of Scott Snyder's newest horror series for Comixology, but pairing with his Batman artist Greg Capullo is a good way to get me interested. This has something to do with demons and how someone has them, I guess. Still, Snyder and Capullo have never disappointed me, so I'm on this one like stank on a gym shoe. What's the Furthest Place from Here #1 is from Image Comics. The story is by Matthew Rosenberg and the art is by Tyler Boss. While this post-apocalyptic comic might not exactly be horror, I have to get the word out for my buddy Matt Rosenberg's new collaboration with his 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank artist, Tyler Boss. I've been enjoying Rosenberg's mainstream work at DC and Marvel, but this is Rosenberg untethered by editorial, pure, uncut, and much more like the raw and powerful stories he produced at Black Mask, like 4 Kids and We Can Never Go Home. If you're looking for a dark and emotional tale, look no further than this thrilling new series. MAZEBOOK #3 is from Dark Horse Comics. The story and art is by Jeff Lemire. I'm loving this soulful descent into madness as a man who used to bond with his now deceased daughter through solving puzzles and mazes communicates with someone he believes to be his daughter from beyond the grave through those very same puzzles and mazes. Lemire's art is heartbreaking, and this one is filled with real danger and raw emotion. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one ends up. Alien #8 is from Marvel Comics. The story is by Philip Kennedy Johnson, with art by Salvador Larroca. While it seemed like the xenomorphs were headed earthward, it turns out this story focuses on a very Earth-like settlement on another planet. Still, the fragile new settlement is going to face their biggest test yet when the xenomorphs descend upon the livestock and population. I'm glad the creative team has stuck with Alien for this second arc. The first one didn't disappoint. It's a little overlong and definitely trade-paced, but still strong sci-fi horror in the vein of the movies. Well, that's it for this week. Which one of these comics interested you? Let me know down in the comments. That'll be it for today. Please chime in down below in the comments and let me know how on the nose or mind-numbingly wrong I am, or you can counter with your own review. So guys, you know how YouTube works. I'd love to be able to dedicate more time to this channel. I'm not monetized yet, so if you want to help me out, remember to hit all the pertinent bells and whistles down below. Want some spooky comics to read? I have 2 new horror comic book trade paperbacks you should look out for. Both Grave Trancers and Pirouette, collecting never-before-published issues, can be found in only the finest of comic book shops. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on my website, mlmillerwrites.com. If you really want to show your support, I also have a Patreon page at mlmiller. Look for the link to my Patreon page down below. Thank you so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed. Live the life that you are meant to be. Live inside.